Welcome to meditation on inner peace. I'm Anne Ahokangas. Inner peace can be achieved when our lives get hectic or when life events knock us down. It's important to your health, your mind, and your future to release stress, anxiety, overwhelm, and worry. Inner peace is a high vibrational state, and you are a vibrational being. And when you are in a high vibrational state, the manifestation process to achieve your greatest life is accelerated and assured. So let's begin. Close your eyes and just allow the whirling thoughts that are going on in your mind to be set aside for a few moments. And bring your focus to your heart center. And take a deep breath in and breathe out. Becoming aware of any tension you're holding in your body. Begin releasing your tension as you exhale with each breath. Breathing in peace and calmness, and exhaling all your tension and worries. Just focus on your breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. And allow your breathing to gradually slow down. Breathe in and breathe out. Allowing your breathing to become slower and deeper each time you breathe in and breathe out. Just release all the tension, all the worries. Now I invite you to use your imagination. Imagine a beam of white light is beaming through the top of your head, straight down your spine and into your chest. Into your arms, into your pelvic region, into your legs, in and down to your feet, straight to your toes. Your entire body is beaming with the bright white light of healing, of calm, of peace. Feel the tingling sensation all over your body. Notice as this white light illuminates your entire body. And know that each time you breathe out, You are releasing all negative thoughts and worries from your mind. Each time you breathe out, you're letting go of all your problems, of any difficulties that are present in your life right now. And know deep within your heart and in every cell of your body that all is well. Great things are unfolding for you. In fact, they have already arrived. They are here now. Now, with the bright light illuminating your entire body, in your imagination, reach your arms out and reach up to the sky, and release any and all negativity, all concern, all stress, anything negative that you may still be holding on to. And imagine letting it go forever. See as it dissipates into the atmosphere and gets transformed by the universe. It is gone. Feel the peace. Feel the lightness. Feel the love. Feel the freedom. You are receiving the light. And as you receive, know that you are the light. And allow yourself to rise above it all. Notice how you are now filled with powerful, positive, loving energy. This is inner peace. You are experiencing inner peace. In this state, in this awareness, you have the ability to manifest and attract all that you desire and all that you deserve. For you are now living from a new, higher state of consciousness. You are living from your higher self. All is shifting. All is transforming for the better. Incredible, amazing things are arriving into your life. Take a moment to bask in this beauty. Everything always works out for you. Now say this quietly in your mind. Everything always works out for me. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Say this in your mind quietly. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. And in a few moments, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And when I get to 1, you will feel refreshed, energized, and your bright light will stay with you throughout the day to guide you to remain in this state of inner peace. Your awareness is coming back to the present moment. 3. You feel refreshed and alert, feeling better than before. 2. You begin to move your toes, your hands, your legs, and your arms. 1. Open your eyes and notice how you feel more alive, more aware, peaceful and calm. You feel wonderful. You feel energized. You are now ready to manifest and attract your greatest life. Please join with me in affirming, and so it is.
see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the child in you. I see the sweetness in you. I see the softness in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the goodness in you. I see the wisdom in you. I see the strength in you, and so it is. I see the joy that's in you. I see your light shining through. I see the love that's in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the grace that's in you. I see the courage in you. And I see the heart that's in you, and so it is. And I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the beauty in you. I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the power in you. And I see the greatness in you. I see the greatness in you. And I see the goodness in you now. I see the goodness in you. And I see the wisdom in you. I see the wisdom in you. Oh, I see your strength, your strength. I see the strength in you. And I see your joy, joy, joy. I see the joy in you. And I see your light shining, light. I see the light in you. And I feel the love that's in you. I see the love in you. And I see the grace that's in you. I see the grace in you. And I see the courage in you. I see the courage in you. And I see the heart in you. I see the heart in you. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. realize, have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself. Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You are the place.
moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You are the
moves and
place.
breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I want you to clap your hands and sing it with me. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Eddie Watkins, can I have some more of that? Can we have some more of that? A little more? A little more.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Eddie Watkins! Good job, brother. Outstanding. Eddie Watkins Jr.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Hamilton. I just love all the faces here today. And we are in the beginning of fall, so it's nice and cool outside. Happy to have you here with us this morning. My name is Marcia Daly. I'm your presider for today in the absence of Reverend Anne. You see her chair is empty. And I'd like to also welcome those of you who are online. We know that you're there with us every Sunday, and we're happy that you spend this hour with us. So, 10% of everything that we receive goes back out to bless our community, and this quarter we are blessing Hamilton Food Share and Unity Canada. So, fourth Sunday is always Kids Sunday, so I'm going to invite all the kids to come up on stage. They bring their special energy. And we're going to sing, I Am Who I Am. Whoops.
Oops.
Where's the rest of the song?
I am who I am.
That's all I have.
I am who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am. I have all I need here inside of me. And I remember to say, I am who I am. I am who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am. Who I am. I am who I am. Who I am is just perfect. I am who I am.
We bless them on their way. Our power for this month is Zeal. The color is orange. It's the 10th of 12 Powers of Man by Charles Fillmore. And as usual, we'll say the affirmation together. I am filled with spiritual passion. I enthusiastically accept my good and go forward to achieve my purpose. My inner flame burns brightly for all to see. I am Zeal. Thank you. So for our opening prayer today, join me in the consciousness of the One, the I Am. Today I awaken to the possibilities. I realize Spirit is always with me as me. It is the creative intelligence behind all things seen and unseen. I shape my experience of life, of love, through my own deep, loving expression. Today I choose to love myself in every way, remembering I am enough, I am worthy. I'm free to make my own choices. I'm always guided, and this love empowers my life. Gratefully, I move forward, getting better every minute. Life is good. And say together, and so it is. So I invite Emilio to come forward and sing for us A World That Works for Everyone.
You can all sing this with me. We are creating a world that works for everyone. Yes, we're amazing, and we've just begun to feel
feel the power and freedom to be who we came here to be, as we discover each other and celebrate humanity. We are creating a world that works for everyone. Yes, times are changing. It's all a revolution as we are walking together. Love is leading the way through the fields of compassion to a world that works for everyone, to a world that works for everyone. As we are walking together, love is leading the way through the fields of compassion to a world that works for everyone. To a world that works for everyone.
Today's absolute word, written by Paul Hasselbeck, is authenticity. I am free to be my true self. Today I may be called to fill many roles: parent, child, spouse, partner, friend, neighbor, co-worker, consumer, citizen. As I contemplate the unwavering power of infinite love, I understand that my true self, my authentic self, is divine. I know how to speak and act for the highest good of all concerned. I express myself with courage and compassion. In strife, my words and actions bring forth peace, reconciliation, and wholeness. In accord, my contribution is a magnet for joy, beauty, and abundance. Trusting my authentic self, I call upon the glory of my infinite potential to transform ordinary circumstances into magnificent possibilities.
Can you tell that I like Eddie Watkins Jr.? If it could be that we agree to live in harmony and set aside all that divides for the sake of humanity, would you say yes? Yes, yes, yes. If it could be that we agree to meet on common ground, plant a tree and spread fruit of love all around, would you say yes? Yes, yes, yes. Come on, everybody, sing with me. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. If you believe in you and me, sing yes, yes, yes. Woo! If like I believe we can make a better world. Listen to each other till every voice is heard, singing yes, 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 yes. What would you say if we found a way to end all poverty, so all would live with dignity from sea to shining sea? Oh, would you say yes? Come on, everybody, sing with yes, yes, yes. Woo. Yes, yes, yes. If you believe in you and me, sing yes, yes, yes. Ooh. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. If you believe in you and me, say yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. If you believe in you and me, say yes, yes, yes.
Today we have a wonderful speaker with us. She is replacing Reverend Ann just for this week, okay? She first came to Unity Hamilton 40 years ago and is currently the Adult Education Coordinator for Canada. And Reverend Ann, fun fact, was one of her students. She enjoys teaching and facilitating spirit groups and has an affinity for frogs. Now, let's just be clear, not the live leaping frogs. She confessed that she has over 100 frogs in the form of artwork, keychains, earrings, draw pulls, those kinds of frogs.
Socks.
And socks, yes. So I'd like to invite Wendy Carr, licensed Unity teacher, to give us our talk for today.
Thank you. So nice to see familiar faces today. Randy was also a student, the two of them. Yeah, good times. So thank you, Rev Ann, for being away so I have a chance to see my friends in Hamilton. And I just buried the clicker. There we go. So oops, that's the wrong button. So I'm going to start with a quote from Socrates. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And it can be difficult to make the switch. The old is often known, comfortable, familiar, and the new is often not known, comfortable, or familiar. Anybody feel that as well? Okay. There are some things that only I seem to feel, and there are some other points where we can go, yeah, I'm in the oneness of that. So the impetus for change often comes from discontent. So the question is, what's troubling me today? So back a while ago, I had a job for about a decade that was in a highly toxic environment. I knew better. I talk about a spiritual bypass. I knew better. I knew that was not a good fit for me in terms of the energy, in terms of how management treated its employees. I knew better. But I was having fun, so I kept at the job. When, however, it got to a point where my MD decided I needed to go see a cardiologist, and the cardiologist ran a battery of tests and said, well, here's your choice. Quit your job or start making your funeral arrangements. And I said, seriously? And they said, yeah, for someone your age, you should not be having these symptoms. It's clear that your job is extremely toxic to you. So I needed to get out of that place. And I had a decent salary. I had benefits. I had a pension. I had a lot of friends. I had an interesting job. I was never the same 2 days in a row. And I had actually, the funny part was, I had just said to myself, okay, because a number of my friends were kind of hitting 50 and they were like, oh yeah, it's time to leave and find, you know, I need a different job. And I was like, no, I'm staying till retirement. I'm going to be here. Not. But I had to say, what's troubling me? What is bothering me? So I found, though, that it didn't just branch out. It didn't just go to the job. There were other aspects of the job. There were other things. It wasn't just the job. It was kind of like peeling an onion. You know, you get those first layers off. Ever notice that the inner layers are never the same width? You know, I've always wondered about that. There's got to be something. But so what I'd like you to do is to take some time this week and just ask yourself, what is it that's troubling me? Is there anything that's troubling me? If not, blessings to you, but I came up with 5 in a very short period of time. So, yeah, time to do some spiritual work. But what we think is bothering us is often only part of the picture. So what is it I am for that is opposite the discontent? Now, one of the things I've been learning recently is that what I think is an opposite isn't always the opposite. As a child in my church of origin, I was taught that hate was the opposite of love. Anybody else taught that one? Yeah, okay. And then I came to Unity. I came into Unity just as we were making the move from Victoria Street up the mountain. Leap year day, 1984, Hamilton gave thanks for Unity because we were taking trucks up the Claremont that actually opened that ramp or that way because it was snowing so hard. The city was basically shut down. They had shut down the Claremont. But our guys were like, it's just snow. We can drive up. We can move today. It's moving day. Let's get on it. And after a couple loads, the roads were clear enough that they could reopen the Claremont. Just a little sidebar for you. But what I learned when I came into Unity was Gerald Jampolsky. Fear is the opposite of love. And I've been working with that. And so as I paused back when I was considering this job and what my cardiologist was saying, I realized that I didn't hate my job. I really didn't. I was fearful around my job because I was aware that management didn't really care about me. Management knew they could replace me very easily. And in fact, when I left, they did. So I had to ask myself, what am I for? Now, to be truthful, I didn't get an immediate answer. I bounced it off friends and family. But what I was clear about, and what became very clear, was that I needed to regain things for myself, my physical health, my spiritual health, time for friends and family. All these things encompassed by love were missing from my life. Because it was, on a good summer's day, it was an hour's drive each way. On snowy days, it was 3 hours, easy. So you may find that what you are for differs from mine, and that's perfect because we don't want to be clones of each other, right? That would be very boring. So just as electrical energy is generated when you turn on a switch, you are a conductor of spiritual energy or vital power. As I realized that I needed to find different employment, I also needed to tap into this spiritual energy. Some of it was simply reminding myself that simply how bumpy the road might be, I would find an ending, which would also be my new beginning. And that was something I was really holding on to, that the ending wasn't the ending. That, yes, I was saying goodbye to a lot of people, but you know what? The 4 people that meant the most to me at work, we still get together from time to time. We're still connected to each other. We still email each other. And once in a while, we all jump on a Zoom call together, and we have a little conversation, we have a cup of tea, and we pretend like we're having a coffee break like we used to do. So I was in kind of an abyss, though. Where am I going next? And of course the question is, what makes my heart sing, calls me to engage, and lifts me? Now please be clear, this is a question only you can answer. Not your family, not your spouse, not your partner, not your kids. They all have ideas though, I will guarantee you that. But I invite you to explore. And it might be, just doing some volunteer work, or, watching some YouTube videos or some TED Talks. Now, if current me, so 2024 me, could go back in time and greet myself as I was walking out of my manager's office having submitted my 2-week resignation and said, it's going to be okay. Here's what you're going to be doing in 2024. It's going to be a little bumpy from 2020 to, 2024, but it's going to be okay. I would have said, you were crazy. Wait, what? I'm going to do something where I'm speaking in front of people? I'm going to be doing it on a computer from my home, and I'm going to be talking to people in Australia? I'm going to be engaged at the national level of unity and the international level of unity? I mean, the things that I have done since quitting that job, myself back then, my old self, could not envision this. You had told me that someone who was not a minister would be teaching ministers at Unity headquarters through Zoom, but that I would be teaching those people. I had always just taught the ones that were preparing to gain admission to seminary, not the seminary candidates. But that little voice would have said, okay, that's crazy. But I probably would have taken a moment and gone, you know what, I've always enjoyed teaching those Unity classes, and it's just a greater expansion of that. Now, each of you would have something different. Perhaps you're a musician or an artist, or you love to cook, or you know some secret recipes that only your family has, or whatever. Woodworking, all sorts of things. But the big question is, what does your heart say as you're doing it? Do you lose track of time because you're so engaged that you're just like, there is no time or space, it just is? That's usually a sign you're finding something that is your passion. So where can I find this in my community, and am I willing to support its creation if needed? So here's where the individuality of the journey really stands out. Perhaps there is already a community. Perhaps if you love to sing, there's a choir that you can get together with, or one of those pop-up choirs, or whatever. Perhaps there's a group at a local rec center that does something that you enjoy doing. But what if you have skills that you can't find to share with someone else? Sometimes you have to go a little bit farther afield. I have a friend down in London. He is a master craftsman with wood. So when I go down and visit him, I couldn't do craftsmanship like that. Okay, I can barely hammer a nail straight. and don't talk to me about table saws, all right? No, it's going to be like this by the time I'm finished. But he has that, and I can rejoice in his enthusiasm And I can rejoice that during the pandemic, he was able to reach out on Zoom and mentor some people at a distance. And now that we've got the restrictions over with, they will drive 2-3 hours to come and work with him and learn his skill set. So sometimes you have to be the leader. You've got to be the person that, sets the stage for others to join you. But I guarantee you that as you do that, you will find the blessing of being that person who, when you have passed, which none of us want right yet, thank you, no, not yet, but I want to be the one that's remembered for, gee, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now had so-and-so not prodded me, not provided me that safe space to learn those skills, not encouraged me when I couldn't make a straight cut to save my soul. As we're looking at community, as we're looking at how we do this, am I making time to understand the choices I make for the community? Okay, so not only have I been guilty of spiritual bypass, all right, sometimes confession is good for the soul. Sometimes I have gotten really, really excited about something and not looked at the big picture and had it blow up in my face later. Oh yeah. Whether it's the time, the cost, that I didn't realize that a building that I thought we could use for a meeting wasn't properly accessible for someone, all of these things. So sometimes we have to make those adjustments to our vision of what it's going to look like. Sometimes we have to step back and say, okay, what is the mission here? What is the core belief? What is the core of this? And just kind of leave what it's going to look like on the outside. And just allow space, not only for Spirit to work through you, but also for other people to bring their skill set to the table. 2 other questions. Have I considered becoming in a local action group, and what was the result of your consideration? Okay, truthfully, I'm not big on local action. I'm an introvert. I know that sounds crazy, but because I'm up here right now, but I will go home. I'll have some lunch, and I will go home, and I will sleep for 3 hours because that's how I am. This takes it out of me. It takes a little less than it used to, but that's practice. And that's another part of this. So I might participate in something where I feel safe, where it's not too much of a stretch for me, or where it's a little bit of a stretch, but not so much. And part of that is because I know myself well enough to know that I have enough passions. I could volunteer 24/7. I could not sleep for the rest of my natural life and probably not do everything that I want to. Right? Anyone else feel like that? We're preparing for the licensed Unity teacher candidates to do their final exams this week, and I'm actually on the evaluation team. And one of the questions we ask the candidates is there anything that you don't want us to know about you? And there were some interesting ones, but I would say 80% of the respondents said, I don't want you to know how badly I can mess up because I try to do too much and extend myself too far. And I just thought, okay. So what is the result of my consideration? I got to be honest, there's a bit of shame that I'm not out there. Some of you may recall my folks, they were also involved with Unity. Some of you may have been around to remember a previous minister, Reverend Jane Simmons. Reverend Jane Simmons' mom and my mom were down on Parkdale protesting the Winston Churchill School being arbitrarily transferred over to another school board. How many times during university, high school and university, I'd get a call from my dad, and we'd come home and, yep, your mom almost got arrested again today for protesting this or that or the other. Enough of you know my mom to, truly appreciate that. And yet, sometimes those actions can be very quiet. I was asked to give a speech at my cousin's funeral a number of years ago. I didn't know. It was news to me that she was one of the people that went down to the legislature and said, we need curb cuts because I live in a wheelchair and I can't get around my cities because I can't get, down off the curb. I never knew she was part of that. She never spoke of it. I knew that she was engaged in making her own life better and thus making everyone else's life better, but I never knew the level to which she had gone. So sometimes it can be very secretive. Sometimes it can be what you're called to do, and it doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be across the front page of the Spec. So if you have a local action group that you're engaged in, blessings to you. Thank you for your service to that group. And if you're hemming and hawing, as I tend to do when someone says, we're putting together a group about, and I always take a deep breath. And then my next question to myself is, okay, is that going to tap into your sleeping time, your eating time, or your other basic care time? So it's something that while there is, for me, some shame around it, I'm working on that. I'm looking at forgiving myself. Technique I learned a couple weeks ago. I was teaching it to Unity of London. So get yourself a little stone. I was reaching in my pockets. It's not in my pockets anymore. And as you're feeling those things that you need to forgive yourself with, clench the stone. Talk to the stone. Tell it what you're feeling. It won't sass you back. And then as you release and forgive yourself, release your hand and allow that energy, allow that emotion to be released with the physical, feeling the blood flowing through your fingers again. So what would be the purpose of being in a local action group? Well, we like the idea, and we subscribe to the idea of a world that works for everyone, as Emilio's music told us. So what is my authentic self being called to express? Being clear. Authentic self is not what others are pushing us to be or do or act. From Jane Goodall. The indomitable human spirit is that quality in us that makes us tackle what seems impossible and never give up. It can be difficult to say, I'm not going to give up. It can be difficult when it feels like you're on your last calorie and you have nothing left to give. And that's when we have to take a breath and say, okay, I still believe in this. And that can often be a boost right there. Just, are you still engaged with that? I'm going to our co-founder, Myrtle. We aren't concerned about the results of outcomes, but the change in consciousness that makes the results abiding. As we forgive and heal our inner relationship with power, we take the next step in rising by how we express our personal power. This step asks us to release our hidden agendas. We begin to express our power with integrity and authenticity. Power expressed in this manner supports and draws those around together in support of shared causes and ideas. And from her husband, Charles, it is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. If we would draw to us love, we must be love, be loving and kind. If we would have peace and harmony in our environment, we must establish it within ourselves. Which leads me to a big question. How? How is this plant growing through that crack in the sidewalk or the asphalt or whatever it is? And if a plant can do that, then how much more can we do that? So here's some thoughts. A mustard seed of faith and strength to begin becoming aware of my spiritual power. If you've never seen mustard seeds, they're little. They're really, really little. And yet the bush that comes out of that will produce more seeds is quite substantial. And so too with us. What feels like a teeny tiny idea can become something so great. I think back to when we were debating whether or not to purchase the property on Rosedene, and what a big challenge that felt like. And for those of you who may remember the building in the early days, when you went into the sanctuary, there was a 2-story brick wall to hide the nuns so that you couldn't see them during Mass. My job that fall was to take the wheelbarrows of brick debris out to the dumpster. That was my introduction to Unity. Hard work. But it became, it was such a small thing, but it was so necessary for the bigger vision that we had. What else do we need? We need a willingness to ignore outer messages and circumstances. Many people are quick to judge and tell you why something won't work, or why you shouldn't be doing something. I invite you to keep them at arm's length. Sometimes you can't, cut them out completely because they're family, or they're your dearest friend since forever, or they're someone you work with and you see every day and you get an earful from them every day. But I invite you to seek out people who will be your vision keepers, who will offer to hold the vision that you have for whatever it is that you are doing in this world. Some of the greatest achievements have happened when common sense said it was impossible. Think about it. Think about all the things that happened, particularly in the 20th century. It still boggles my mind, okay, that I can sit in my home in my very comfortable chair in front of my computer screen. Now I have an external camera, but I'm there. My computer is talking to my modem without any wires. It's just flowing through the air. And I'm talking to someone in BC, or I'm talking to someone in Australia, or I'm talking to somebody in the UK, or this past week I was talking with somebody in Nigeria. And the mind boggles, because common sense says, how the bleep does this happen? How can I have, it's straight out of the Jetsons, right? During the lockdown, I got a really nice view of my doctor's living room, because that was where she did her calls when we were in lockdown. And yet, common sense says that's not possible, but it is, because we're doing it, right? Right now, those who are watching on YouTube, more than likely, are offline in terms of they're not connected. I remember the days when I had to be connected to the computer with my cord, and I had to yell, okay, everybody off the phone, because I got to do this important email. Don't anybody touch the phone for the next 20 minutes. And clearly some of you had that experience. And yet, it's happening. Every so often I just stop and go, wow, this is really amazing. What else do we need to bring this power into our lives, into expression? An investment of time, talent, and treasure to follow divine or inner guidance. So your time, consciously committing to the path, including the spiritual supports of reflection, meditation, prayer, whatever you call it, that quiet time when you just shut out the world and just listen within. Your talent. Hey, I'll bring that light out from under the bushel. Oh, guilty of putting my light under a bushel. It's so much quieter under there. You don't have people telling you what you're doing wrong. But it's challenging to get past that. And once you do, you find you grow. we were actually discussing about the public speaking and how both Marcia and I have grown because we do it. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I remember the first couple times I spoke, I was grateful I had like wider pants on and not leggings, because you would have seen my knees shaking. Wide pants hide a multitude of things. Your treasure. Open yourself to be in the flow of giving and receiving. Let me emphasize that again, and receiving. Both are necessary. They're the opposite sides of the same coin. And I find, especially right now, I went into Walmart with my mom. There's a standalone group of Christmas ornaments. Behind that is a standalone thing of Halloween stuff. On the wall are those big blow-up things, and it's like it's Christmas, Halloween, Christmas, Halloween. It's like, what the heck? What's your vision here, people? What is it that you're doing? And being clear about that, and being clear that if you don't have the right snowman on your front lawn, it's okay. You're still a good person. If you don't have a pumpkin on your front porch, it's okay. You're still a good person. Because we are so attuned to, and I've noticed that the Christmas ads have started, and I'm starting to get them, that we're so attuned to in our consumer culture that of giving and just giving. Well, guess what? You can't give all those gifts if everybody else is like, oh no, you take. You have to have that ability to receive. And let me tell you a little story about that. So I am a wedding officiant, and I was meeting with a couple that wanted me to do their service. And they said, how much do you charge? And I had a number in my mind, but this little voice just kind of said, why don't you ask them what they feel would be appropriate? And I said, I'm open. Did you have a figure in mind? And they said, well, we think this amount. Well, that was almost double what I had in mind. So do you think I said to them, oh, no, that's okay? Of course, if they want to give me double what I was expecting, I will gratefully, graciously, and gladly receive. One of the most fun I've had in a long time. We did it poolside. So, but that, is a way of being in that space of not having to say, here's what I have to give, here's what I have to give, but to be open to receiving that someone else might have a skill set that matches right perfectly with yours that will help to bring that together. An awareness that one does not always have to be loud or forceful. Amen, amen. One of my favorite quotes from the late Leonard Nimoy: those who cannot hear an angry shout may strain to hear a whisper. An ability to say, yes, me, instead of, who, me? I'm still working on this one. I'm getting better with practice. I won't go there, but yeah, things are happening, and I'm having to say, yes, me, thank you for asking me to participate. Resilience, patience, and confidence. Things may not go the way you planned them. Things may not go the way you imagined them. It may be that other things need to happen before your time to shine is ready. Remember that toxic job I told you about? Yeah, so in retrospect, perhaps I could have seen the signs coming. So I had interviewed. It was a panel interview. I had never done a panel interview. Talk about terrifying. And then nothing for 3 months. So I just thought, oh, I didn't get the job. 3 months, that seems a reasonable amount. Then the 4th month, I get a phone call. Apologies. We posted the job too early. The person you're replacing hadn't retired when we interviewed you. We thought she was retiring within a month, and it turned out that we had miscalculated and she needed to work 3 more months to get her full pension. So there was no space for me to be in that place. So that was a lesson for me about, if it doesn't happen immediately, pause. Maybe something else needs to happen. And from Michael Beckwith, I close with this thought: be for something and against nothing. Coming together in authentic power multiplies what we can do. The difference for good we can make as a group, as a community, and even as a world community. We don't have to be in the same place at the same time. But that expands our individual power and exponentially expands the power that we share together. So let us go forward, focused on sharing our innate gifts, spiritual and human. And I thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. That was wonderful. We'll have our song and then we'll talk about what we're taking away this morning.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
Takeaway today.
I guess it might sound a bit sarcastic, but I'm going to go find a walking club. But I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be sarcastic on purpose. It's really, it's just, I've missed getting out there and being with people and involved in things. So thank you very much.
In a book that we're studying right now, Jamie Kern Lima says, "You're not crazy, you're just first."
Just absorbing. That's good too. So my takeaways are, I love the thought-provoking questions you've thrown at us, like what's troubling me today and what am I for? That's opposite to discontent. And that discontent comes from, or change often comes from discontent, which I know to be true. I like too that you've advised us to seek people who will be your vision keepers. That's really, really important. And I'm so glad to know that I'm still a good person because I don't have a pumpkin outside my house. That was a moment. And finally, having an ability to say, yes, me, instead of who, me? Because I know, I've done that many times, and I know you guys have done it. When someone asks you to do something and you go, who, me? I don't think so. So those are wonderful reminders, and I thank you on behalf of the congregation for taking the time to come and spend with us and share your words of wisdom. Okay. So let's go to our conscious giving, practicing the law of circulation before we have the kids come in. And for those of you here in the sanctuary, we will receive your financial support by way of passing the basket. And if you're online, you can assist us through an e-transfer to admin@unityspiritualcenter.com or checks payable to Unity Spiritual Center. And everything that we receive goes to help to support the furtherance of the work that we do here at Unity Spiritual Center. I'd also like to throw out to the community, if there are any volunteers who are willing and able to drive those of our members who are unable to come on their own to church, if you would like to volunteer for that, do let me know or any of the board members, and we'll pass on to you where the congregants live and how we can settle an arrangement. So let us stand together. Yes, let's do that first.
Is happening, love has taken hold and it won't let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion, with drops in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share a gift for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing, to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode till you heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live and dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world. The dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones that can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Everybody stand together. Everybody, let's stand together now.
So let's have the kids come back in. Bring all that pent up energy. And let's hear what they were doing today. Who's going to tell us what you did today? Okay, so it says I am.
What did you do? What did you do today? Anybody? What did you do today? No? What did they do? What did you create? You created sun? Is that a mandala? Mandala? Yeah. No?
We talked about zeal.
Zeal, of course, that's what it is. Oh, fantastic. Can you show everybody? Yay, beautiful.
Your heart sings. When your heart sings, that's the joy that God's giving you. I am.
Oh.
Zeal is about what makes your heart sing, and that comes from your higher power, I am, and what creates joy. So you just have to be calm and listen to your heart sings, and it can be riding bikes, it can be skipping, it can be dog rescue, it can be a lot of different things that gives you joy and does not get you in trouble.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much. So let us.
Lots of zeal out there, trust me.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So for those of you at home, their papers say they worked on zeal, and their papers say I am, and I'm just taking a little read here. I'm helping Mommy and Dad. I am skipping, riding bikes, reading hikes, caring for pets. Wonderful.
I also have some stuff on the back.
And the back too, okay.
Lots of stuff.
I barely saw mathematics and giving back. I'm not sure how they work together, but it's just a blessing to have the kids with us today. Wonderful. So, just for those of you here and at home, if there is need for prayer, you can send us an email to prayer@unityspiritualcenter.com and we will hold that prayer for you. So let's together say our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds you. I am the light. The love of God enfolds you. I am the love. The power of God protects you. I am the power. The presence of God watches over you. I am the presence. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Let's sing our peace song to close.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Yay!
Thank you, everybody. See you next week. And know that we love you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.